Today we're talking about the 7 things that are most important that you need to know in writing a real estate contract. Seven things, really, and this is, I know you real estate agents, you're going to say, that's not the only things. I know it's not the only things. These are the 7 most important things when someone comes to me and they want to buy real estate. These are 7 things I try to get them to understand and get them to prepare for right away. The first thing is, are you financing or are you paying cash? You know, that's a big question. Now, if you're paying cash, you already know your budget because the liquid funds are there. If you're financing, you need to go talk to a lender. Figure out how much you want to put down, what the interest rate's going to be. Find out how much house you can afford. If it's an investment property, find out if you can get financing for it. So the second thing you really want to be aware of is you're going to have to prove that you have funds to close the deal. Now, paying for attorneys, inspectors, anything that goes into the property, you need to prove you got a little bit of cash. Even if you're financing the whole thing, that you got a little bit of cash. So have that ready. The next thing, and this is a big one, earnest money. We're going to take a little time with this one. So earnest money is often called good faith money, or some people call it deposit. It kind of lets the seller know you got some skin in the game, that you're serious about buying this. You've already put up some money that you potentially could lose if you don't uphold your end of the contract. So I generally recommend about 1% of the sale price as earnest money. So on $100,000, $1,000 earnest money should be good to go. Home warranty. People overlook this all the time. Generally, if you want the home warranty, you're going to have to pay for it yourself, and just take it as insurance on all the things that could go wrong being covered. Next, this is a big one, and this is so simple. It's really simple. Whose name's on the contract? People come into real estate all the time looking for real estate, and they haven't even thought about it. Husband and wives, are both of you on the contract? Are both of you going to be on the deed to the property? Are you adding this property to an LLC's portfolio that already exists? All of these things need to be thought about on the front end, and understand that anyone on that contract, if it's a husband and wife, both people will have to sign that contract. The next thing you want to think about is closing date. When do you want to close? Now, if you've talked to your lender, you know, and if you're financing, you've talked to your lender, you know it's going to take about 45 or 60 days to get everything done on their end, pulling title work, getting appraisals done, all that stuff. It's going to take a little time to get that done. So financing and closing in 2 weeks, probably not going to happen. Almost never. In fact, never. It's never happened. In the history, has it ever happened? No, it's never happened. So it's negotiation strategy. My clients and I talk negotiation strategy before the offer's made. The reason we do that is because we don't want any surprises. We want to have our ducks in a row. We want to know what our next move is before we have to make it. So we run through a lot of scenarios, almost every scenario you can think about, and create our response to each scenario so that everyone is on the same page, that when we do get to the point of actually talking about reality, nothing is a surprise. Nothing is a surprise. So 7 things you got to know. You're going into real estate. And now I know, here's the deal. You're going to get on Zillow and shop before any of this is done. I get that. I get that. That's fine. But when you really get serious and you're really driving around looking at property, you need to have all of these taken care of and understand that these are part of your life. So make sure you're financing. You've talked to a lender already. You know how much you're approved for. You got the pre-qual letter, cash. You've got your account balance. You've got proof of funds. You've got the money to close. You've got the money to pay the attorney, the inspections, all the things that go into that. Earnest money. You're okay with 1%? At least 1% of the sale price going into a trust account the day you make the offer. That has to be presented with the offer. Home warranty, you've thought about that. You've thought about whether you're okay with or without it. The name on the contract. Now, if you don't want your wife on the contract, you need to have this conversation with her before you go shopping. Closing date, when do you want to close? And last of all, you want to make sure your agent is really good at negotiations, because you want to talk strategy before you place an offer. Now, if your agent doesn't talk strategy, call me. I do.